God tests you before he shifts your reality. Lesson 1. The purpose of God's tests. The purpose of God's tests is to strengthen your resilience and deepen your faith. In the grand scheme of things, these tests aren't meant to break you, but rather to build you up. They are designed to challenge you, to push you beyond your comfort zone, and to stretch your limits. It's through these trials and tribulations that you are able to discover the depths of your own strength and the power of your faith. God's tests are like a refining fire, purifying your character and molding you into the person He's destined you to be. They serve as a means of stripping away the impurities within you, revealing your true essence and potential. It's through these tests that you are able to grow and develop, becoming stronger, wiser, and more adaptable. As you face these tests, it's important to remember that God isn't testing you because He's capricious or cruel. Instead, He's testing you because He sees the potential within you and wants to help you realize it. He wants to see you reach your fullest potential and live a life of purpose and fulfillment. In the midst of these tests, it's natural to feel overwhelmed, discouraged, or even doubt your own abilities. However, it's in these moments that you must hold on to your faith and trust in God's plan for your life. Remember that He's with you every step of the way, guiding you, supporting you, and providing you with the strength and resilience you need to overcome any obstacle. Lesson 2. Understanding trials and tribulations. As you navigate through the tests and trials set before you, it's crucial to gain a deeper understanding of the purpose behind these challenging experiences. Trials and tribulations aren't arbitrary or random occurrences. They serve a greater purpose in shaping and refining your character. In order to comprehend the significance of these trials, it's essential to explore the theological and philosophical aspects surrounding them. Trials and tribulations are a means through which God tests your faith, perseverance, and resilience. They provide opportunities for personal growth and spiritual development. Just as a blacksmith uses fire to refine and strengthen metal, God uses trials to refine and strengthen your faith. These challenges serve as a catalyst for transformation, allowing you to grow closer to God and develop a deeper understanding of His plan for your life. Furthermore, trials and tribulations test your reliance on God and your ability to trust in His sovereignty. They reveal the depth of your faith and expose any areas of weakness or doubt. By facing and overcoming these challenges, you not only strengthen your relationship with God, but also cultivate qualities such as patience, humility, and perseverance. It is important to note that trials and tribulations are not punishments from God, but rather opportunities for growth and refinement. They are part of the human experience and a necessary aspect of spiritual formation. Embracing these challenges with a mindset of faith and trust in God's plan will enable you to navigate through them with grace and resilience. Lesson 3. Trusting in God's plan. In order to fully trust in God's plan, it's crucial for you to rely on His guidance and surrender your own desires. Trusting in God's plan requires a deep understanding of His wisdom and sovereignty. It means acknowledging that He knows what's best for you, even when it may not align with your own desires or expectations. Trusting in God's plan requires surrendering your own will and submitting to His divine authority. It means recognizing that He's got a purpose for every situation and circumstance in your life, and that He's working all things together for your ultimate good. This trust is not blind or naive, but rather grounded in the belief that God is faithful and trustworthy. To trust in God's plan, you must also cultivate a close relationship with Him. This involves seeking His guidance through prayer, studying His Word, and listening for His voice in your life. It means relying on His wisdom and direction, rather than relying solely on your own understanding. Trusting in God's plan doesn't mean that you'll never face challenges or difficulties. In fact, it often requires enduring trials and tribulations with faith and perseverance. However, you can find comfort and strength in knowing that God is with you, guiding you, and working all things for your good in the midst of these trials. Trusting in God's plan is a lifelong journey of surrender and faith. It requires a willingness to let go of your own desires and trust in His perfect timing and wisdom. As you continue to trust in Him, you'll experience the peace and joy that comes from knowing that you're in the hands of a loving and trustworthy God. Lesson 4. Embracing challenges as opportunities. To fully embrace challenges as opportunities, you must recognize that they are tests designed by God to strengthen and shape you. Challenges aren't obstacles to be avoided or overcome. They are opportunities for growth and transformation. When faced with a challenge, it's natural to feel overwhelmed or discouraged, but it's important to remember that God has a purpose for allowing these challenges in your life. In the Bible, we see numerous examples of individuals who faced great challenges and emerged stronger and more resilient. Take the story of Joseph, for instance. He was sold into slavery by his own brothers, unjustly imprisoned, and faced countless hardships. Yet, through it all, Joseph remained faithful and trusted in God's plan. In the end, he became a powerful ruler in Egypt and was able to save his family from famine. Similarly, the Apostle Paul faced numerous challenges throughout his ministry. He was imprisoned, beaten, and faced persecution for spreading the gospel. Yet, he saw these challenges as opportunities to testify to God's grace and power. In his letter to the Corinthians, Paul writes, "We are afflicted in every way, but not crushed, perplexed, but not driven to despair, persecuted, but not forsaken, struck down, but not destroyed." 2 Corinthians 4:8-9. When faced with challenges, it's important to remember that God is with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. He allows challenges in your life to refine your character, strengthen your faith, and shape you into the person He's called you to be. Embracing challenges as opportunities allows you to grow in wisdom, resilience, and dependence on God. Lesson 5. Strengthening your faith through testing. Through testing, you can strengthen your faith and deepen your relationship with God. Testing is an integral part of the Christian journey, as it allows us to grow and mature spiritually. When faced with challenges and trials, we have an opportunity to exercise our faith and rely on God's guidance and provision. Testing serves as a refining process, similar to how gold is purified through fire. It helps to reveal the true nature of our faith and exposes areas that need improvement. In these moments, we are called to trust in God's sovereignty and believe that He will work all things for our good. This testing of our faith produces endurance, character, and hope. Romans 5:3-4. Testing also deepens our relationship with God. When we encounter difficulties, we are compelled to seek Him more fervently, relying on His strength and wisdom. It's through these trials that we experience His faithfulness and find comfort in His presence. As we navigate through the storms of life, our faith is strengthened and our trust in Him deepens. In times of testing, it's crucial to remember that God is in control and has a purpose for allowing these challenges in our lives. Rather than being disheartened, we should approach testing with faith and perseverance, knowing that God is using it to mold us into His image. As we continue to trust in Him, our faith is fortified and we are prepared for the next season of testing. In the subsequent section about patience, a virtue in times of testing, we will explore the importance of cultivating patience while enduring trials and how it contributes to our spiritual growth. Lesson 6. Patience, a virtue in times of testing. Developing patience is essential when facing testing moments, as it allows you to endure challenges with steadfastness and trust in God's timing and plan. Patience is a virtue that's often undervalued in our fast-paced and instant gratification-driven society. However, in times of testing, it becomes a crucial attribute to cultivate. Patience enables you to remain calm and composed, even when faced with difficult circumstances, knowing that God is in control and has a purpose for your trials. When you exercise patience, you are acknowledging that there's a divine timeline at work. You understand that God's timing may not align with your own desires or expectations. This requires surrendering your will and placing your trust in Him. Patience allows you to wait with hope and perseverance, knowing that God is faithful and will fulfill His promises in due time. Furthermore, patience helps you to develop a deeper reliance on God. It teaches you to lean on His strength rather than your own. It encourages you to seek His guidance and wisdom, trusting that He will provide the necessary resources and support to overcome the challenges you face. In times of testing, patience also serves as a reminder of the bigger picture. It helps you to maintain an eternal perspective, recognizing that the trials you endure are part of a greater plan for your spiritual growth and transformation. By cultivating patience, you're able to endure with faith, knowing that God is using these testing moments to refine and shape you into the person He's called you to be. As you develop patience in times of testing, you will find yourself better equipped to overcome doubt and fear. Lesson 7. Overcoming Doubt and Fear. Overcoming doubts and fears requires a steadfast belief in God's guidance and an unwavering trust in His divine plan. Doubt and fear are natural human emotions that can often hinder our spiritual growth and prevent us from fully surrendering to God's will. We can, however, begin to overcome our doubts and fears by acknowledging and confronting them. Firstly, it's important to recognize that doubt and fear are normal aspects of the human experience. They arise from our limited understanding and the uncertainties that we face in life. However, we must not allow these doubts and fears to consume us. Instead, we should turn to God and seek His guidance and wisdom. Through prayer, meditation, and study of Scripture, we can find solace and reassurance in God's words. Secondly, we must cultivate an unwavering trust in God's divine plan. This means surrendering our own desires and expectations and fully submitting to God's will. It requires us to let go of our need for control and trust that God knows what's best for us. It may be challenging to relinquish our own plans and ambitions, but by placing our trust in God, we open ourselves up to His blessings and guidance. Furthermore, it's important to surround ourselves with a supportive community of believers who can offer encouragement and accountability. Sharing our doubts and fears with others allows us to gain different perspectives and insights, and it reminds us that we aren't alone in our struggles. Together, we can uplift one another and strengthen our collective faith. Lesson 8. Finding Hope in the Midst of Trials. To find hope in the midst of trials, embrace resilience and trust in God's unfailing love and provision. Trials are an inevitable part of life, and they can often leave us feeling overwhelmed and discouraged. However, it's during these times that we must hold on to the belief that God is with us and that He's got a purpose for allowing us to go through these trials. The ability to recover from adversity and keep moving forward in the face of adversity is referred to as resilience. It is not about denying our pain or pretending that everything is fine, but rather about acknowledging our struggles and choosing to persevere. In the face of trials, we can find hope by cultivating resilience and refusing to let our circumstances define us. Trusting in God's unfailing love and provision is also crucial in finding hope amidst trials. It's recognizing that God is in control and that He has a plan for our lives, even when things seem hopeless. This trust is not blind or naive. Rather, it's rooted in the knowledge that God is faithful and that He's working all things together for our good. In the Bible, we find countless stories of individuals who faced trials and yet found hope in God. For example, Joseph was sold into slavery by his siblings and spent years in prison, but he never gave up hope. He trusted that God had a greater purpose for his life, and in the end, he became a powerful leader who saved his family and many others. Finding hope in the midst of trials isn't always easy, but with resilience and trust in God, we can overcome even the most difficult circumstances. It's through these trials that we are refined and strengthened, and ultimately, it's through them that we can experience the transformative power of God's love and provision. Lesson 9. Developing resilience and perseverance. Embrace the challenges and cultivate resilience in order to persevere through trials. Developing resilience and perseverance is crucial in navigating the tests that God presents us with. The ability to recover from adversity while maintaining a positive attitude is defined as resilience, whereas perseverance is defined as the determination to keep going in the face of adversity. These characteristics are necessary for spiritual development and can help us face the challenges that life throws at us. Resilience isn't something we are born with, but rather a skill that can be developed over time. It involves building mental, emotional, and spiritual strength. One way to cultivate resilience is through self-reflection and introspection. Take the time to understand your emotions, thoughts, and reactions to challenges. This self-awareness can provide insight into your strengths and weaknesses and help you develop strategies for coping with adversity. Another important aspect of developing resilience is seeking support from others. Surround yourself with a Christian community that can encourage and guide you through difficult times. Furthermore, turning to Scripture and prayer can provide comfort and strength. The Bible's wisdom and guidance can be a source of inspiration and reassurance. Perseverance is closely tied to resilience, as it requires a steadfast commitment to keep moving forward. It's important to remember that perseverance doesn't mean blindly pushing through challenges, but rather finding the strength to adapt and learn from them. It's a balance between determination and flexibility. Lesson 10. Letting go of control and surrendering to God. To truly experience spiritual growth, it's essential to let go of control and surrender to God. In our human nature, we often cling to a desire for control, seeking to dictate the outcomes of our lives. However, true growth occurs when we release this grip and trust in God's divine plan. Surrendering to God means acknowledging that He knows what's best for us and relinquishing our own agenda. It requires humility and a willingness to let go of our own desires, fears, and attachments. Letting go of control and surrendering to God isn't an easy task. It requires a deep faith and a recognition of our limited understanding. We must acknowledge that God's ways are higher than ours, as are His thoughts. In surrendering, we open ourselves up to the transformative power of God's love and wisdom. We allow Him to guide us, shape us, and mold us into the individuals He intends us to be. Surrendering to God also involves actively seeking His will in our lives. It means aligning our desires with His and seeking His guidance through prayer and meditation. By surrendering control, we invite God to work in and through us, allowing Him to use our lives for His purposes. In doing so, we experience a deep sense of peace and fulfillment, knowing that we are living in accordance with His divine plan. In the next section, we will explore how the process of surrendering and letting go of control can lead us to learning humility through the testing of our faith. Lesson 11. Learning humility through testing. You regularly face tests that teach you humility and foster personal growth. These tests, designed by God, serve as opportunities for you to learn important lessons and develop a deeper understanding of yourself and your relationship with the divine. Humility is a fundamental virtue that allows you to recognize your limitations and surrender to a higher power. Testing forces you to confront your weaknesses and the reality of your human limitations by presenting you with challenges that push you outside of your comfort zone. Testing can come in various forms, such as difficult circumstances, setbacks, or even interpersonal conflicts. In these moments, you may feel a sense of frustration, confusion, or even despair. However, it's important to remember that these tests aren't meant to break you, but rather to mold you into a better version of yourself. Humility is essential in these situations because it allows you to acknowledge that you don't have all the answers and that there's a greater wisdom at play. It requires you to let go of your ego and surrender to the divine will. By doing so, you open yourself up to the possibility of growth and transformation. Through the process of testing, you learn to rely on God's guidance and trust in His plans for your life. It's through these trials that you develop resilience, patience, and a deep sense of gratitude. Each test serves as a stepping stone on your spiritual journey, allowing you to shed your ego and embrace a greater sense of humility. Lesson 12. Discovering your true identity through trials. As you navigate through the trials designed by God to teach humility, your true identity begins to emerge. These trials serve as a refining process, stripping away the layers of false identities that society and our own ego have constructed. In the midst of adversity, we are given the opportunity to discover who we truly are, to uncover the depth of our character, and to align ourselves with our divine purpose. Trials can reveal our strengths and weaknesses, exposing the innermost parts of our being that often remain hidden during times of comfort and ease. They challenge us to confront our fears, manage our doubts, and confront our limitations. Through this process, we begin to see ourselves as we truly are, flawed and imperfect beings, yet capable of growth and transformation. In the face of trials, we are forced to examine our beliefs, values, and priorities. We might discover hidden talents or passions that had previously been overshadowed by the demands of daily life. Our true identity is not found in external achievements or material possessions, but in the depths of our soul, in the qualities that make us unique and irreplaceable. Trials also provide an opportunity for spiritual growth. As we face adversity, we are invited to deepen our faith, to rely on God's strength, and to surrender our own will to His. In doing so, we cultivate resilience, perseverance, and trust in the divine plan. Ultimately, the trials we face are not meant to break us, but to shape us into the individuals we are meant to become. Through the refining fire of adversity, our true identity emerges, shining forth with authenticity and purpose. Embrace these trials as opportunities for self-discovery, knowing that God is guiding you towards your true identity and ultimate fulfillment. Lesson 13. The role of prayer in times of testing. Amidst the trials designed by God to test you, prayer plays a crucial role in providing solace and guidance. When faced with difficult circumstances, turning to prayer allows you to seek comfort, strength, and direction from a higher power. Prayer is not merely a passive act of asking for divine intervention. Rather, it's a powerful tool that enables you to align your will with God's and tap into the divine wisdom and grace. During times of testing, prayer serves as a means of communication with God, allowing you to express your deepest fears, doubts, and anxieties. It's through prayer that you can find solace and find refuge in the presence of a loving and compassionate God who understands your struggles. By pouring out your heart in prayer, you acknowledge your dependence on God and invite Him to work in your life. Moreover, prayer in times of testing provides guidance and clarity. As you seek God's will and direction, prayer becomes a source of divine wisdom, offering insights and perspective that may not be apparent in the midst of trials. Through prayer, you can discern the next steps to take, make decisions with wisdom, and navigate the challenges you face. In the midst of testing, it's important to remember that prayer is not a guarantee that your circumstances will change immediately or in the way you desire. Instead, prayer allows you to surrender to God's will and trust in His perfect timing and plan. It strengthens your faith and helps you develop a deeper relationship with God, which sustains you through the trials. Lesson 14. Seeking guidance and wisdom from God. When faced with difficult circumstances, turning to prayer frequently allows you to seek guidance and wisdom from God, enabling you to make decisions with clarity and navigate the challenges you face. Seeking guidance from God isn't merely an act of asking for help. It's an intentional practice of seeking divine wisdom and understanding in order to discern the best course of action. By humbling yourself before God and acknowledging your limitations, you open yourself up to receiving divine guidance that surpasses human understanding. In seeking guidance and wisdom from God, it's important to approach prayer with humility and sincerity. Recognize that God is omniscient and possesses infinite wisdom, and that His guidance is far superior to our own limited understanding. Trusting in God's guidance requires relinquishing control and surrendering to His will, even when it may go against our own desires or expectations. Prayer is not a one-sided conversation. It's a dialogue between you and God. It involves not only speaking to God, but also listening for His voice and discerning His guidance. This requires cultivating a receptive heart and an attentive mind, allowing the Holy Spirit to speak to you through Scripture, meditation, and the still, small voice within. In seeking guidance from God, it's also important to seek wisdom from other believers. God often uses the counsel and insights of others to guide and confirm His will. Seek out trusted mentors, pastors, or friends who can provide wise counsel and perspective, helping you to discern God's guidance more clearly. Ultimately, seeking God's guidance and wisdom is a lifelong process of growing in faith and deepening our relationship with Him. Patience, humility, and a willingness to surrender our own understanding and desires to God's perfect will are required. As we seek His guidance, may we find comfort and assurance in knowing that He's faithful to lead us on the path of righteousness and wisdom. Lesson 15. Building character through adversity. During challenging times, you must grow in character by persevering through adversity and learning valuable lessons along the way. Adversity has the power to shape and mold your character, revealing your strengths and weaknesses and providing opportunities for personal growth and development. It's through these trials and tribulations that you are able to cultivate qualities such as resilience, perseverance, and patience. Adversity can take many forms, whether it be facing financial hardships, experiencing the loss of a loved one, or enduring physical or emotional pain. It's during these moments of difficulty that your true character is tested. It's easy to display strength and composure when life is going smoothly, but it's in the face of adversity that your true character is revealed. Building character through adversity involves embracing the challenges that come your way and approaching them with a positive mindset. It necessitates the adoption of a growth mindset in which you believe that setbacks and failures are opportunities for learning and growth. By reframing adversity as a chance for personal development, you can navigate through challenging times with resilience and determination. Moreover, building character through adversity requires self-reflection and introspection. It's important to examine your own actions, attitudes, and beliefs and identify areas for improvement. Adversity provides a unique opportunity for self-discovery and self-transformation, allowing you to develop a deeper understanding of your values, priorities, and purpose in life. Lesson 16. Cultivating gratitude in difficult times. To cultivate gratitude in difficult times, you must intentionally practice recognizing the blessings in your life. It's essential to understand that gratitude isn't merely a feeling, but a discipline that can be developed through intentional effort. Difficult times often cloud our vision and make it challenging to see beyond our struggles. We can cultivate a sense of gratitude that transcends our circumstances by consciously focusing on the positive aspects of our lives. One way to practice recognizing blessings is through the daily practice of gratitude journaling. Take a few experiences each day to reflect on and write down the things you are grateful for. This exercise helps shift your focus from what's going wrong to what's going right in your life. It allows you to acknowledge the small victories, the moments of joy, and the support you receive from loved ones. By intentionally seeking out these blessings, you train your mind to see the good even in the midst of difficulty. Another powerful way to cultivate gratitude is through acts of kindness and service. When you extend a helping hand to others, you not only make a positive impact on their lives, but also develop a deeper appreciation for your own blessings. Volunteering at a local charity, supporting a friend in need, or simply reaching out to someone who may be struggling can help shift your perspective and foster a spirit of gratitude. In addition, practicing mindfulness can also enhance your ability to cultivate gratitude. By being fully present in the moment and paying attention to your surroundings, you become more attuned to the beauty and goodness that exists around you. Whether it's the warmth of the sun on your face, the sound of birds chirping, or the taste of a delicious meal, mindfulness allows you to savor these experiences and find gratitude in the simplest of things. Finally, it's important to remember that gratitude is a choice. Even in the most challenging times, you have the power to choose how you respond. By consciously choosing gratitude, you shift your focus from what's lacking to what's present. This shift in viewpoint can have a profound impact on your life, allowing you to find joy and contentment even in the midst of adversity. Lesson 17. Finding comfort and peace in God's presence. To find comfort and peace in God's presence, embrace the solace and serenity that comes from deepening your relationship with Him. In times of difficulty, it's natural for humans to seek solace and comfort. As believers, we have the privilege of finding that solace and peace in the presence of God. By strengthening our relationship with Him, we can tap into a deep wellspring of comfort and tranquility that transcends the challenges we face. Deepening our relationship with God involves several key aspects. Firstly, it requires dedicating time to prayer and meditation. Through prayer, we communicate with God, pouring out our worries, fears, and concerns, and seeking His guidance and strength. In these moments of connection, we find solace and reassurance, knowing that God hears our cries and is intimately involved in our lives. Secondly, nurturing our relationship with God involves studying His Word. The Bible, the Scriptures, are a source of wisdom, comfort, and encouragement. We gain a better understanding of God's character and promises by immersing ourselves in His teachings. This knowledge serves as an anchor, grounding us in times of turmoil and providing a sense of peace that surpasses all understanding. Lastly, being active members of a faith community can also contribute to finding comfort and peace in God's presence. Surrounding ourselves with other believers who are on the same journey as us can give us a sense of belonging and support. Together, we can encourage one another, share our struggles, and remind each other of God's faithfulness. In nurturing our relationship with God, we lay a foundation for finding comfort and peace in His presence. As we deepen our connection with Him through prayer, study, and community, we position ourselves to experience His solace and serenity, even in the midst of testing. Transitioning to the next section, nurturing relationships during testing further reinforces our ability to find comfort and peace in God's presence. Lesson 18. Nurturing relationships during testing time. While being tested, it's crucial to actively nurture your relationships. The testing period can be a challenging and tumultuous time, but maintaining strong relationships can provide support and comfort during these trials. Nurturing relationships during testing time involves investing time and effort into building and maintaining connections with loved ones, friends, and even spiritual mentors. One way to nurture relationships during trying time is through open and honest communication. Sharing your struggles and fears with those close to you can create a sense of vulnerability and trust, allowing for a deeper bond to form. Engaging in significant discussions and actively listening to the experiences of others can also foster empathy and understanding, strengthening interpersonal bonds. In addition to communication, expressing gratitude and appreciation towards your loved ones can further nurture relationships. Showing gratitude not only acknowledges the support and love they provide during testing, but also cultivates a sense of reciprocity and mutual care. Small gestures such as a heartfelt thank you note or a simple act of kindness can go a long way in nurturing relationships and fostering a sense of unity. Furthermore, it's important to prioritize quality time with loved ones during testing period. Despite the challenges and demands that come with being tested, setting aside dedicated time for meaningful interactions can help maintain and deepen relationships. This can include doing things you both enjoy, such as going for walks, sharing meals, or engaging in spiritual practices together. Lesson 19. The importance of self-reflection and growth. Take time for self-reflection and embrace personal growth during God's testing, as it's essential for your spiritual journey. In the midst of life's challenges and trials, it's easy to become consumed by the external circumstances and lose sight of the internal work that needs to be done. Reflective thinking is a powerful tool for looking within, evaluating your actions and beliefs, and making necessary changes for personal growth. Self-reflection enables you to examine your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in a thoughtful and deliberate manner. It allows you to gain insight into your own strengths and weaknesses, allowing you to identify areas for growth. By taking the time to reflect, you can uncover patterns and habits that may be hindering your spiritual growth and work towards addressing them. Moreover, self-reflection helps you to deepen your understanding of your relationship with God. It allows you to evaluate your faith, question your beliefs, and seek answers to profound existential questions. Through self-reflection, you can develop a more intimate connection with the divine as you explore the depths of your spirituality and align your actions with your beliefs. In addition to self-reflection, personal growth is an essential component of your spiritual journey. It involves actively seeking opportunities for learning and development, both intellectually and spiritually. Personal growth requires a willingness to step out of your comfort zone, embrace challenges, and continuously strive for self-improvement. During God's testing, it's crucial to view difficulties as opportunities for personal growth. Each trial presents a chance to refine your character, strengthen your resilience, and deepen your faith. Embracing personal growth allows you to navigate through life's challenges with grace and wisdom, transforming adversity into spiritual growth. Lesson 20. Recognizing the signs of God's testing. During God's testing, it's crucial for you to be aware of the signs that indicate His presence and purpose. Recognizing these signs is essential for navigating through the challenges and trials that life presents. The signs of God's testing can manifest in various ways, and it's important to develop a discerning eye to identify them. One sign of God's testing is the presence of adversity or difficulties in your life. These challenges may come in the form of financial struggles, relationship issues, or health problems. While it may be tempting to view these challenges as mere coincidences or bad luck, recognizing them as signs of God's testing allows you to approach them with a greater sense of purpose and meaning. Another sign of God's testing is the feeling of being stretched beyond your limits. During these times, you may find yourself facing tasks or situations that seem impossible to overcome. It's in these moments that God is testing your faith, perseverance, and resilience. By recognizing these signs, you can lean on your faith and trust in God's plan, knowing that He's testing you for a greater purpose. Furthermore, the presence of unanswered prayers can also be a sign of God's testing. When you find yourself waiting for a breakthrough or a solution to a problem, It's important to understand that God is using this time to teach you patience, trust, and reliance on Him. By recognizing this sign, you can develop a deeper understanding of God's timing and surrender control to His will. Lesson 21. Overcoming spiritual warfare through faith. To overcome spiritual warfare through faith, you must steadfastly rely on God's strength and guidance as you navigate the challenges and trials that come your way. Spiritual warfare refers to the battles that occur in the spiritual realm between good and evil forces. These battles can manifest in various ways, such as temptations, doubts, and attacks on your faith. It's important to understand that you aren't alone in this struggle. God is with you every step of the way, and He provides the necessary tools and resources to overcome these spiritual battles. One crucial aspect of overcoming spiritual warfare is having unwavering faith in God. Faith acts as a shield that protects you from the attacks of the enemy. When faced with trials and challenges, it's essential to trust in God's promises and rely on His strength. Through prayer, meditation, and studying His Word, you can deepen your faith and draw closer to God. This connection with the divine enables you to tap into His power and receive the guidance needed to overcome spiritual warfare. Additionally, cultivating a strong relationship with God is vital in overcoming spiritual warfare. By seeking His presence in your daily life and surrendering your struggles to Him, you invite His wisdom and guidance into your journey. Recognize that spiritual warfare isn't a battle you fight alone, but one that God fights on your behalf. Trust in His sovereignty and His ability to deliver you from the clutches of the enemy. In a nutshell, to overcome spiritual warfare through faith, you must rely on God's strength and guidance. By strengthening your faith, seeking a deeper connection with God, and surrendering your struggles to Him, you can navigate the challenges and trials that come your way. In the next section, we'll explore the importance of celebrating victories and lessons learned in the midst of spiritual warfare. Lesson 22. Celebrating victories and lessons learned. Celebrate your victories and the lessons you've learned along the way. In the journey of faith, it's essential to take the time to reflect on the milestones you have achieved and the wisdom gained from your experiences. These moments of celebration not only serve as reminders of God's faithfulness, but also provide opportunities for growth and transformation. When we celebrate our victories, we acknowledge God's hand in our lives. It's through His grace and strength that we're able to overcome challenges and emerge victorious. Each triumph, no matter how big or small, is a testament to God's power working within us. By recognizing and celebrating these victories, we cultivate an attitude of gratitude and deepen our trust in God's provision. Furthermore, celebrating our victories allows us to share our testimonies with others. As we recount the battles we've fought and the victories we've won, we inspire and encourage those around us. Our stories become a source of hope and encouragement, reminding others that they too can overcome their own trials. By celebrating our victories, we become agents of God's love and grace, spreading His light to a world in need. In addition to celebrating victories, it's equally important to reflect on the lessons learned along the way. Every trial and setback presents an opportunity for growth and refinement. By analyzing the experiences we have gone through, we gain valuable insights into our own strengths and weaknesses. These lessons learned serve as building blocks for our character development and spiritual maturity. Lesson 23. Embracing change and transformation. As you journey in faith, it's essential to embrace the inevitable change and transformation that God is orchestrating within you. Change is a fundamental aspect of the Christian life, as it reflects the ongoing work of God in shaping and molding us into the image of Christ. Through different situations and experiences, God challenges us to let go of our old ways, beliefs, and attitudes, and to embrace the newness that He desires to bring into our lives. Transformation, on the other hand, goes beyond mere change. It involves a deep and radical inner renewal that occurs when we surrender ourselves completely to God's transforming power. This process requires humility, trust, and a willingness to let go of our own desires and agendas. It's through this surrender that God can truly work in us, bringing about a transformation that aligns us with His perfect will. Embracing change and transformation requires an active participation on our part. We must be open to the leading of the Holy Spirit and willing to cooperate with the work that God is doing in us. This may entail pushing ourselves out of our comfort zones, confronting our fears, and embracing new opportunities for growth and service. It is important to remember that the process of change and transformation isn't always easy. It often involves challenges, discomfort, and even pain. However, as we persevere and trust in God's faithfulness, we can rest assured that He's using these experiences to refine and shape us into vessels that bring glory to His name. In conclusion, as you navigate through life's challenges, remember that God is testing you to prepare you for the reality shift ahead. These challenges are intended to fortify your faith and shape you into the person you are destined to become. Just as a caterpillar goes through a transformation in the cocoon before emerging as a beautiful butterfly. Embrace the trials, trust in God's plan, and celebrate the victories and lessons learned along the way. Thanks for listening to or reading this from Audiobook's office.